Oh, hello. Good to see you. Welcome on board. Well, no, it is not Captain Birdseye. It is I, Peter Fox, and I'm coming to you on behalf of St Edward's Castle Donington. But as you see, we're not in Castle Donington at the moment. We're on our boat, Serendipity. What do you think of her? She's our pride and joy. There's nothing Angie and I really enjoy more than getting away from it all and having a holiday. We've just been having a few days away on our narrow boat on the waterways of Great Britain. You know, right across Britain, there's a whole network of canals and rivers, and they used to be really, really important in our country because long before there were motorways and even before the railways, this is how you move stuff around. So I mean, if you wanted to get coal from I don't know, Llangollen, or you wanted to get steel from Sheffield, or you know, pottery from Stoke, or whatever it was, this is how it would travel on the waterways, on the canals, and that was how it used to happen in the old days. Of course, you don't see so much of the old working boats these days. There aren't many of them left, but things have moved along a bit, and these days there are thousands of us who just take to the waterways just for the fun of it, just for the pleasure. So I suppose we all have different ways of being happy. Might not be everybody's idea. I mean, all that opening locks, emptying bilges, hauling on ropes, sometimes it doesn't feel like the most restful holiday, but it makes a nice change. Living your whole life 4 miles an hour is the right kind of speed. Ideal, of course, for a vicar, because you get to keep the same home, but you change your parish every day. So here we are. We all have our own ways of being happy, don't we? I don't know whether you saw it recently. Some scientists, they actually worked out, after years of investigating and research, they worked out a mathematical formula for the secret of happiness. Now, I have to tell you, I am not a mathematician by any stretch. I don't think mathematically at all. It's just not my gift. But what it seems to boil down to, this equation for happiness, is that the secret of being happy is not to expect too much. Not to expect too much. That makes a sort of sense, I suppose. I mean, we've all had experiences of you know, Christmases perhaps, or homecomings, or big family events, weddings, that kind of thing, where we had such high hopes for what it was going to be like, and somehow it just didn't quite live up to our expectations. So I sort of see what they mean, but is that really the secret of happiness? Just not having, you know, high expectations? I mean, how happy can you be if you don't have an expectation of something else, some new adventure just round the bend of the river? Of course, I suppose it makes some sense. I mean, it makes sense not to have, it's not just about what we expect from situations. I mean, not having unrealistic expectations about other people, for instance. Realising that other people are only human, and, you know, people make mistakes. I mean, you see people who get their boat jammed in the lock and hold me up for the day, and people who pinch my mooring spot when I was just about to go there. Worst of all are the people who go far too fast past my boat when it's moored and jibble everything about. You mustn't have unrealistic expectations. I mean, people are only human. We all make mistakes. And I suppose it helps you to be happy if you have realistic expectations about yourself. You give yourself a break. You're only human. We all make mistakes. Key is keep moving on. But I think there's something more. I think the real secret of happiness is something a bit more than just not having unrealistic expectations. I think the real secret of happiness is just, for what it's worth, my 2 penny. I think the real secret of happiness is to live thankfully, to focus on being thankful, grateful for the things we have, grateful to the people around us who make our lives so much richer than they would be. I feel sorry for people who don't believe in God, because I'm not sure who they have to give thanks for. Who do you thank for a beautiful day like this, and from time away from stress and worries? Who else do you have to thank for all of this beauty, the gift of life itself, if you don't have a God to thank? And I think living thankfully really is the key to happiness. I mean, for one thing, being thankful, even in situations that are difficult and dark, being thankful is so important, even in the worst moments of our lives. Look at the worst things that happen to us. Think about loss, for instance. When someone you love dies or falls ill. I'm not saying there's a cure for the grief, for the pain. I don't think there is a cure. But I do think that it helps if we can turn our grief into thankfulness, instead of brooding on what we've lost, being grateful for what we have had, what we've been given. Someone you love dies, being thankful that at least you knew them, and that for a time they were able to be part of your life and to enrich it. I don't think it cures the pain, but I think it changes the direction. It moves you forward to the next adventure, somewhere just round the bend. So maybe a key to happiness is to be grateful for what we've got, and to expect, not unrealistically, just to expect surprises and the adventures just along the canal a little way. Personally, I'd settle for wishing you and I might live hopefully ever after. God bless.